Space health scientists from around the globe are in Tulsa this week. The goal, to discuss the health impacts of commercial human spaceflight. One of the speakers is NASA astronaut Victor Glover. He is scheduled to pilot the Artemis II, which will take American astronauts to the moon for the first time since 1972. Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, great to be here. Thank you.
It's great to get to meet you. I want to show video right off the bat. I had the chance to go back in November of 2020.
Right.
You were involved in a very special event with SpaceX, and you were one of the astronauts that flew to the International Space Station on the commercial SpaceX rocket.
That's right, that's right.
This is a video of you. You'll see here, you're the second there in line. You kind of move everybody out of the way. And I was there with Jim Bridenstine, our former NASA administrator.
Yeah, there's his head right there.
How long have you wanted to do this?
You know, I saw a shuttle launch around the age of 10 and thought I would love to drive that. That machine really captivated me. But then later in my military career, in my late 20s, I got to hear Pam Melroy speak at a conference, and that really sealed the deal. And I said, I'm going to apply and see what happens.
And here we are. So you're in Tulsa for this conference. Share with us the importance of these types of conversations and who all is going to be there.
So there's going to be folks from industry, academia, and of course the public sector. The government is there. And this partnership is a really great opportunity for us to understand how going to space can impact our private astronaut partners. And so this is a way for us to communicate the things that we have learned in the government, putting humans in space since the 60s, and how those things can be communicated better, how they can be better understood, and so that we can give them a more informed opportunity to go to space. And here's another really exciting thing. Eventually, the numbers of people going to space on these private and commercial missions is going to reach the numbers of government-supported astronauts. And so it also provides new data. Every astronaut that works for a government entity is really highly screened and scrutinized, and so you're kind of getting a really small slice of the public. And now you're going to open this up to, you know, greater age, greater ethnic diversity, and so we're going to learn a lot more about what space does to the human condition. And so this is a chance for us to understand the data that we're gathering.
No question, the rigors that you guys are put through, and women, to go to outer space, but to know that just general population. We were talking about it earlier this morning. I think about, you know, our cell phones. How, if you'd have told us, you know, however many years ago, we're going to have this knowledge in our hand, we'd have laughed at them. And that's kind of like people hear you all, oh yeah, the general public, you know, going to space.
Right, you know, but that's what's happening. And I really love the spacecraft that I flew to the space station in. We named it Resilience. It was the serial number 207, made by SpaceX. And the very next people to fly that was the pure private mission called Inspiration 4. And so I just think that, you know, this is going to happen, and it's happening, and it's going to continue to accelerate. And so understanding the data that we can provide to our, you know, commercial and civil astronauts, but also what we can get from that is going to help everybody be safer as we go further. You know, our mission is to go further out into the moon and eventually onto Mars. And the most important thing we're going to still learn is about what that trip is going to do to the human body.
I want to talk a little bit about your mission to the moon, because you are going to be piloting this crew. Talk to us about the other astronauts that you'll be a part of.
Yeah, so Reed Wiseman is the commander, MS Wan, Christina Cook, who is also my classmate. We were selected in 2013 and started astronaut training together. And then Jeremy Hansen, who was also selected with Reed, is MS2 from the Canadian Space Agency. And so the four of us get to crew Artemis II, and it is our job to run the best race that we can to get this mission safely in the book so that we can hand off the stick to Artemis III, which is going to go further, farther, and do a more complicated mission as we work to land humans back on the surface of the moon.
I've got to wrap, but I do want to know kind of your, I guess your word to the public, because this is the future. I mean, back in the day, going to the moon was a big deal. Now we're talking about all the way to Mars.
You know, and right now NASA and our public and private partners, other countries as well as corporate America, is helping us to go further into the solar system. We're going to continue to have humans in low Earth orbit like we have for almost every day of the last 23 years, and we are going to go further and learn more about deep space exploration. And it's so amazing what's happening right now. Everything you've ever read about. Apollo, the Soyuz program, the space station, we're doing all of that now, but we're doing it with a whole new group of people, a whole new partnership between countries and the public and private sector. And I just hope that, you know, you pay attention to what we're doing and that we make you proud.
No doubt about it. When you take off in that rocket to go to the moon, you will have many of us here on the Earth. The hope is how long will that before that happens?
It's planned for September of next year, September of 2025. And you know, it was great to have you at Crew One launch. Come back and see us again. Come back to Orlando.
I'm gonna save this recording and we're gonna play it back again. Great to meet you, and thank you for what you do for the space program.
Thank you. Great to meet you too.